It feels like it happened yesterday. It always does. It comes up in my thoughts constantly. I didn't have my seatbelt on. So he did a U-turn right in the middle of the highway there, and I really had nowhere to go but right into him. And I jammed my feet in the ground, and I held on with all my might. And at the time, I was a bodybuilder, so I was pretty strong, but that was nothing. I was a rag doll in the car, and I remember flying, holding it, and flying. So I just work on the muscles that are the sorest at the moment, really. Violin is hard to play with a lot of pain. Violin is an instrument that gives you bad posture, period. It's just nasty, nasty posture. And if a physiotherapist saw you like this all the time, they'd feel terrible. So I have to do the opposite of the violin. Matthias is a close friend. I joked around about him one time and I said, well, what do you do with all your money? And he goes, no, Stephen. I try to make enough money so I can go and train. And that blew me away. And I was like, hey, that's what I do, right? I just want to make enough money so I can go practice. I was up against the brick wall when I met him. It was almost game over. The pain was incredible. And he got me to see that I don't have to be in pain. I can heal myself.
I got to know that Stephen suffers from some stiffness in his shoulders and pain along his arm. I knew him as a musician before, and if I can see or if I have resources to help somebody, I try to do this. I saw him playing. His play was so nice that it took a couple of minutes to listen to his play. My violin's very close to my heart, and my relationships are very close to my heart, so it's all tangled in together. So my violin suffers if I'm sad at home, right? And I don't like being sad at home, but I like to play. Well, that's the way I feel, really. I don't really want to go for the fortune and fame. I really, really like to play, you know? And that's really where it stems from. And everything else is secondary. Who's the best composer ever lived? Just for a secret, I'll let you know so that you can tell everybody else and then you can be the smartest in the room before you tell everybody, right? It's Beethoven. And Beethoven must have felt wonderful when he was, you know, at the piano, and because Beethoven had a big mental illness, you know. Beethoven was not very brilliant. He didn't keep a very clean house.
I met him at the Metro Turning Point shelter where he was a guest probably about 2.5 years ago.
10 a.m., eh?
Yes. 80 men stuffed in a room, very chaotic environment. He struggled with drug use in the past. He's struggled, you know, he's been homeless. I don't think I would have met him if he hadn't had a head injury.
Violin rescued me out of that frame of mind.
Your life is now on a completely different path than it was on before.
Two police officers, they were driving around in downtown Vancouver, and they rolled their windows down, they looked at me and they said, "You're just a parasite." And you know, I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not well." I went from the street of Vancouver to the hospital. We took some tests of my brain, and we found out they had a brain injury.
Stephen has someone on assistance, someone on social assistance, who gets about $220 after his rent is paid. The cost of keeping his violin in the shape it's in is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year.
Really difficult to play with my instrument the way it is. You notice the duct tape on my bow, and it's a $125 bow anyways, and my bridge is warped. You can see that it's bent a little bit. The bridges are supposed to be straight.
You know, he's not grocery shopping as much, he's going to soup kitchens and that kind of things because he's prioritizing this part of himself.
So my life after, because I had no job, my job was to be a nice person. It was to think about how to do nice things without money. It turned spiritual very, very quickly and very deeply. On Wednesdays, they have Mass at 11. Most times I play before and try and play very, what's the spiritual music, right? And then we go and we eat the free lunch for the homeless. And Wednesdays is the best lunch of the week. Sister Joe is my person that led me into the Catholic Church. She doesn't want to earn a lot of money. She just is doing what she's doing. She's satisfied doing what she's doing. She's a good example for me. I would like to be just like Sister Joe.
Stephen is a great witness to things that are greater than we think, than those things that we think are important.
Yes, I love you too.
Like when he's holding it, it's like, well, it's like my hand's part of me. Well, the violin's part of Stephen. I think what I've seen is an honest embracing of what that journey demands to be well, to be whole. And he has done that beautifully. But he has journeyed well.
I like to just have enough, and so I can go practice and hopefully be a light in a dark world. I feel like I'm the people's violinist. You know, the people of Halifax. I love them. I stood on that street corner for 6 years, and they've given me thousands of dollars, I guess. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but the money's all gone towards my art. I don't know what to say besides thank you so much.